Welcome. Today we will look at hanging on. Former President of the United States Franklin D. Roosevelt once stated, "When you come to the end of your rope, tie a knot and hang on." Today we'll look at 1 Samuel chapter 30 verses 1 to 19. David and his men reached Ziklag on the third day. Now the Amalekites had raided Negev and Ziklag. They had attacked Ziklag and burned it, and taken captives the women and everyone else in it, both young and old. They killed none of them, but carried them off as they went on their way. When David and his men reached Ziklag, they found it destroyed by the fire, and their wives and sons and daughters taken captives. So David and his men wept aloud until they had no strength left to weep. David's two wives had been captured, Ahinoam of Jezreel and Abigail, the widow of Nabal of Carmel. David was greatly distressed because the men were talking of stoning him. Each was bitter in the spirit because of his sons and daughters, and David found strength in the Lord his God. Today we want to use this to share in our script today. Ziklag was a small town where David had found refuge while he was running away from King Saul. Architect, king of Gath, allowed David to find refuge in Ziklag. Imagine returning home one day and your entire city is burning with smoke, raided, burnt down, and people taken captives. This was a moment of despair, a moment that David's great men would not forget in life. David's men and him had been away for 3 days from Ziklag, where they had left their valuables and families, just to return and find ruins and rubble. All their families and animals gone, rooted by the enemy. What do you hang on when all is gone? As the warriors came close, they broke down and cried along with their captain David. Everyone has been to the weeping place where you couldn't help it but to face the wall and cry. You begin to wonder why bad things happen to good people. Hang on and tie a knot. David's men felt they had lost everything. This is the very moment when your faith is put to a test. When your back is against the wall and it seems as if it is over, hold on, hang on. Sometimes holding on longer makes you stronger. In October 2014, a team of 33 men in Chile were trapped for 69 days inside a mine where they were mining. They were over 2,300 feet deep and about 5 kilometers from the main entrance. A huge stone of about 770,000 tons, twice as the weight of the Empire State Building, had covered these men on top. What kept these men alive for 69 days was the fact that they hung on. As life gets darker for you, you must find a reason to hang on. Verse 4, David's men wept until they had no more strength to cry, and they finally turned against him to stone him. Verse 4. It's rare to make a man to cry, and if it happens, then the pain has reached his bone marrows. You never know how strong you are until being strong is the only thing you've got. The men wept until they had no more strength. Tears are how our hearts speak when our lips cannot describe how much we have been hurt. You could be hurting, but hold on. Verse 6b, but David found strength in his God, the Lord. He gathered himself and admitted the loss and strengthened himself in the Lord. 2 Timothy 4:17 say, but the Lord stood with me and gave me strength. Sometimes when nobody is cheering you, you have to make that stand in your heart saying, the Lord is standing with me. Verse 7 to 8, then David said to Abiathar to bring him the ephod, the kind of an ark, and asked the Lord if he could pursue the raiding army. Will I overtake them? I can imagine 600 men with bitter faces holding their stones to hurt him as David knelt down to inquire of the Lord. Pursue, you will cover all, God responded. Surrounded by frustration and bitter faces, God gives a relieving answer that they will recover all. You can recover all if you pursue. Move from a place of defeat to pursue, and you'll recover all. Verse 9, David took 600 men on an exhausting journey that led to 200 men giving up because they were too exhausted to run in verse 10. 400 men remained hanging on till they found the raiders. We are many runners in the Christian race, but only a few persevere to reach the finishing line. The world has so many beginners, but very few finishers. This is because very few people hang on. When the pain gets too deep, people lose the grip of the knot and fall down. You should tie a knot and hang on. The willingness of the 400 men to hang on till all is recovered inspires us too. Step out of your comfort zone into the realm of the unknown where God is. Cleave fast to the string of hope until your help comes. Someday you will look back and say, I survived because I remained hanging on. Verse 17 to 19 as we conclude. David and his men fought the Amalekites and recovered all, nothing missing. To the weak, you will always lose things to the enemy because you can't fight back to get them. If you were to live 10 years, I'll teach you how to feed on junk daily. If you were to live for 70 years, I'll teach you how to exercise daily. If you were to live a full life, I'll teach you how to hang on in the circumstances of life. Thank you for listening to us. Patrick Chizito, Living Word Community Church. God bless you.